greatest digital asset ever created. I'm so glad I accumulated before the space got saturated. XRP the greatest digital asset ever created. Make the haters aggravated, get the spaceship activated. XRP the greatest digital asset ever created. I'm so glad I accumulated before the space got saturated.
All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Listen, you already know I don't waste no time. This is about XRP crypto news in general, where you can get your daily news. It's a lot of information that's coming out, so I try to stay on top of everything. But I really want to pick apart this particular video that has been going viral because they just put it out. Either earlier yesterday, the 30th. So literally, the global monetary reset is the only solution at the U.S. debt crisis. I really highly recommend that you guys go take a look at this entire video. It's about an hour and some change. Listen up to Frank. He been speaking about the history of the global financial currency and the world reserve currency, which is the U.S. dollar. Let me expand it here.
As I told you 2 years ago, this is going to require a reset, a global monetary system reset, okay? Until that happens, this problem is just going to get worse and worse and worse, and eventually it will lead to a crisis. And that's the only way I think a reset is possible, is that you continue to do what they're doing right now until the game stops. And then some event, as always happens, or it is, an event will take place that will create a U.S. dollar or U.S. dollar euro crisis. And when people start to really lose faith in the American dollar because of all the printing that's taking place, the debt is out of control. Some event could be the collapse of a major financial institution, another global pandemic, a war, a big global war, something that causes a crisis in the dollar. And that's the only way that we're going to get people focused on. Either it's going to happen one of two ways. Either you're going to have a sort of Bretton Woods type agreement amongst nations. So everybody gets together, like much they did after the end of World War II, or just before the end of World War II, to create a new monetary system. Or there has to be a conflict. So if it's not done by consensus, it will be done through conflict. Sadly, most times in history, if you study the last 500 years, when this happens, and it's happened many times, it's only through conflict that you get a new system. And that's in today's age of nuclear age, that's a really scary scenario, that because the U.S. will go down fighting. I don't think the U.S. is going to voluntarily say, okay, we're no longer the global reserve currency. Go ahead, create something new, and we'll be okay with it. As I told you.
All right, so I want to deep dive into that, and I actually will put the link in the description below for you to take a look at this for the whole entirety of the video. But he gets more into like the US dollar, and I wanted to show you guys that. I'm gonna play it for about 5 minutes, so this is not gonna be a lengthy video at all, but I want to make sure you guys get the information if you don't check out the hour and 40-minute video.
It's impossible. Actually, the opposite's happening.
See, I'm looking at what's really going on behind the scenes and have been for quite a long time, and that's how the rest of the world is, the type of moves that the rest of the world is making to move away from the U.S. dollar. And I have multiple examples. The most common are these bilateral trade agreements between countries using only local currencies. There are literally dozens of those. Every day I wake up and I see a new agreement between two countries that we can only trade in our local currencies in our bilateral agreement. So that's one thing that's happening. The other part is that central bank reserves around the world are reducing their dollars, and they've reduced them substantially and continue to reduce them every day. They're offsetting with gold, by the way, but they're also, the fact is that central bank reserves of U.S. dollars are coming down quite rapidly. I mean, that's going to take years to really make a difference. But I think the biggest issue for America is how all these countries, the non-G7 countries, which are the BRICS and the Global South, are finding many, many different ways to trade around the US dollar. And I think the most interesting one that I think has legs, and that will be probably the primary way in which trading will occur outside the US dollar, is this M-Bridge project, which has been in pilot testing for the last 3-4 years. UAE, Thailand, China, and now Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Okay. It's basically, the M-Bridge project is a central bank digital currency being used to settle all trading between nations. So it's basically a ledger kept by central banks, and all Forex is settled through that system, which sits completely outside the US dollar system. Doesn't even touch the US dollar system. Now, they've been testing this. Saudi Arabia has just joined the project, and I suspect, as there are probably 90 countries toying with central bank digital currencies, I think most of the world is going in that direction. Once everybody establishes one, it's going to be very easy to conduct trade within just that system and stay completely outside the US dollar. And you've seen, I mean, since the Russian war on Ukraine, actually countries like Russia have increased their trading with probably close to 100 countries around the world. So there is a trend in play, and it's playing out. And I think that, and this is why now you're starting to finally see, whereas when we had this conversation 2 years ago, and I came up with the idea that de-dollarization was happening, I was being laughed at. And people were saying, there's no way this is going to happen. Where are they going to go? Tina, there is no alternative.
Right.
All right, so I just wanted to really play this part, and let me rewind it back here. He speaks about CBDCs, the M-Bridge moves forward. Now, if I've already talked about this before on my channel, you got to just look at some of the old videos. I'll link it up. But I want to deep dive a little bit. So before I get into that CBDC, I'm going to just jump to this. This is a interview that he had with the same exact young lady 2 years ago. So I'm going to put the link in the description. That's another hour of your time to just listen to what he was talking about and predicted 2 years ago what was going to happen, right? So here are some other people that you also should take a look at, because there's a lot of FUD out there. It's a lot of people who say that they know stuff, and you're researching different things on the internet. AI can sugarcoat a lot of things, but here are a couple people I'm going to just show you to get a better understanding so you can learn more. I've also listened to them as well. Jim Rickards is one person you should take a look into. He speaks about gold, silver, all these different type of commodities and assets that you should try to, hedge against the US dollar. You should also take a look at, if you don't know him or not, this is Robert Kiyosaki. He has a channel called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Well, that's the book, but his channel is called Rich Dad Channel. And he speaks a lot about gold, silver, assets, and how you're able to store your wealth. And then also one more person is Mike. Mike Maloney. He talks about gold and silver as well. I've also had him on my channel speaking more about like the hidden secrets of money. So if you haven't seen that one already, this has done 6 million views. It's called Hidden Secrets of Money. There's about 11 episodes. I highly recommend you take a look at that. I'll leave that also in the link in the description below. So let's just jump back to the video with Frank. He was mentioning the CBDC Forest Project M-Bridge moves forward. So I'm a deep diver, right? So like I said, I've researched CBDCs before. Some people say it's a bad thing to have it. Some people saying it's a good thing to have it. You guys let me know in the comments on what you think. But deep diving a little bit in this particular article, I don't know if you've seen him before, but I have seen him before. His name is Augustin. He's the general manager of Bank of International Settlements. He's spoken about crypto and Ripple in particular. You just have to do your research. I am not a financial advisor. Look at all this information as time progresses when you can. All right, so these are a couple key things or highlights I pointed out in this particular article is 3 years ago, BIS in central banks of China, Hong Kong, Thailand, and obviously like Dubai have been working on cross-border central bank digital currency, CBDC, a project known as M-Bridge. In a nutshell, the project aims to improve efficiency, speed, and transparency in cross-border payments. Look up how much money is being traded on a daily basis. It'll blow your mind. And I'm not talking thousands of dollars. I'm talking billions of dollars a day. So they're trying to have money move as the speed of lightning, as fast as you send a text message. He also put in there that Saudi Arabia has now joined CBDC, and how they are able to try to get involved as well, getting away from the US dollars. Saudi Arabia has joined M-Bridge, and it's the platform will be increasingly used for commodity settlement and bypasses the US dollar. I literally just said that. This is like a 5-minute read, guys. I'm not going to do every little step of reading this for you, but I do want to take out some key points. So it seems that Tencent sees M-Bridge as an opportunity to boost its global cross-border payments service, Tenpay Global, which has been growing but has a smaller footprint than Ant Group Alipay. Tenpay Global provides a validation use case based on cross-border e-commerce export trade payment collection for Tencent's participation in Project M-Bridge at the MVP stage. All right, so this is the next steps. First, one has to wonder if the benefits that M-Bridge promotes to offer are significant enough to offset the cost of building and maintaining new payment infrastructure, according to China Digital Currency Research, which is DCRI Institute. All right, so M-Bridge transactions has 7 seconds, and cross-border payments cost by 50%. So pretty much they're saying like it takes 7 seconds and cut cross-border payments by 50%. So it's a significant amount of money that they're able to save using their DCRI M-Bridge. While the figures sound impressive, it should be noted that DCRI play a key role in developing technology that underpins M-Bridge. It has vested interest in project's success. So it has, a second and final steps on the next thing. But I also want to make sure, like, you guys know, like, BIS, if you don't know, now you know. I'm telling you, do your research. They are more involved in what you think into digital assets, especially the general manager. He speaks on a lot of crypto platforms, and this is Tencent. Make sure you go look into what Tencent is. It's leveraging well-established cross-border payments and settlements. So Tencent Global offers all-in-one cross-border solutions to businesses worldwide in various industries, including import and export and e-commerce. It's a lot of stuff that goes on to this. It's corporate and individual. So making cross-border remittance as easy as sending a message. So listen, this is another website that they spoke about in the article. Ant Group Digital Connectivity. And just a little bit about Alipay Digital Connectivity. It says a platform committed to where am I laughing at? Facilitating digital transformation of independent software vendors and merchants, assisting businesses in reducing costs, emphasizing efficiency, and growing sustainability. So through introducing digital payments. So you guys can take a look at the websites. I'll look at all these links down below. I just wanted to give a deep dive on just that one video of how Frank pretty much has done the research. You can also go back and do your own research to make sure what he's saying is true. But like I always say, He speaks about Bitcoin and some of the positives of having Bitcoin and negatives is also of having Bitcoin. And do your own research, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Let me know some topics that you want me to speak about. Make sure you like, subscribe for the channel. I'm out. Peace.